Ever since the Fantastic Four got announced that they're coming into the MCU, the question has kind of been around the Silver Surfer. Now, Silver Surfer hasn't appeared in a movie since 2007 with Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. Wouldn't you know it? So it's been a talk amongst comic book fans and movie fans of like, when are we going to see Silver Surfer? Is he going to be in Fantastic Four? There was a rumor going around that Silver Surfer was going to be female this time around, that Silver Surfer was going to be played by Anya Taylor-Joy. Now, those rumors got crashed and burned. They got debunked. But it looks like Silver Surfer for the MCU is looking to go feminine, because we do have a Silver Surfer casting here, guys, and it's none other than Julia Garner. This comes to us from Deadline, saying, sources tell Deadline that Emmy winner Julia Garner is set to play the iconic comic book character in Marvel Studios' The Fantastic Four. WandaVision helm Matt Shakman is directing Fantastic Four off a script by Josh Friedman, Jeff Kaplan, Eric Pearson, and Ian Springer. That's a lot of writers, but we'll ignore that for now. Production will begin this summer, and the film is set to bow on July 25th, 2025. Marvel Studios had no comment. While plot details for this film are unknown, sources say Garner will play Shalla-Bal, a version of Silver Surfer from the comics. Garner's star has been on the rise ever since she won her first Emmy for playing Ruth on the Netflix crime drama Ozark. I heard great things about Ozark, haven't seen it. She also landed an Emmy nomination for her portrayal of Anna Delvey on the limited series Inventing Anna. Since the end of Ozark, Garner has built on her film slate, starting with the recently released The Royal Hotel. Next up, she has a Blumhouse and Universal pick, Wolfman, in which she will star opposite Christopher Abbott, and also has the Paramount thriller Apartment 7A. So that comes to us from Deadline there. And look, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and put myself on a higher pedestal than I deserve, because I don't know anything about Silver Surfer. I don't know anything about. I know very little about Silver Surfer. I saw him in that aforementioned Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer movie in 2007 when I was 8 years old, and was it 2006? Anyways, and I read a comic, The Infinity Gauntlet, with Silver Surfer in there because I wanted to learn more about the story before Infinity War came out. That's my knowledge on Silver Surfer. So, what do I think of this news? First of all, let's start with Julia Garner. I have no idea who she is. I have never heard of this woman until I read this article today that she was cast as Silver Surfer. But here's what I like about Julia Garner. Before we get to Julia Garner, let's address the elephant in the room. Silver Surfer's gonna be feminine. She's gonna be a female. I don't care. Just plain and simple, I don't care. Now, I'm not going to be one of those guys that like puts you down if you are upset because the comic character that you loved was male, and the character that they're going to put on the screen that maybe you've been waiting your whole life to see done accurately is going to be female. Now, it sounds like this is a version in the comics where there was a female version, so I don't know. Maybe that's going to be fine. But if you are upset, for me, the limited knowledge that I have of Silver Surfer, there's nothing about Silver Surfer that feels like it has to be male. There's nothing about it that feels like switching up the gender, making it female, making it male, really adds or takes away from the character. I feel like either gender for Silver Surfer, based on what I've seen of the character, works. It works, in my opinion. Now, whether or not it's going to work in this movie, whether or not we're going to actually end up liking this character, regardless of Julia Garner, regardless of the performance, the writing, that's all to be seen. But as far as initial casting, as far as hearing that Silver Surfer is cast in Fantastic Four and she's a woman, I'm fine with that. Now let's move on to Julia Garner here. I, as mentioned before, have no idea who Julia Garner is, so I can't speak on her work as an actress. I can't speak on her work and what she's been in before. But here's what I'll say about this casting that I like, and it is the Marvel tradition. Marvel has always, or maybe not always, but a lot of casting from Marvel is up-and-comers. Lots of casting from Marvel are people that you may have seen somewhere, you may have heard of, but they hadn't made the big launch into stardom yet. And this feels like it's continuing that trend. Chris Pratt, for example, before he was in Guardians of the Galaxy, yes, he was on Parks and Rec, but he wasn't he wasn't a household name yet. You go on to Simu Liu in Shang-Chi, very much so. He was on The Kim's Convenience, I believe is what that show was. He was kind of known here and there, but Shang-Chi shot him into the stratosphere. So the fact that they've got essentially a no-name but who's becoming a rising star in this role, Marvel has always aced it with their castings. I think the only casting that they might have messed up was Edward Norton as the Hulk, but even he was pretty good in the Hulk movie. I don't like that movie all that much, but none of the problems are Edward Norton's problems with the Incredible Hulk. Their casting at Marvel has always been done very well. So the fact that they went out, they didn't go for a big name, they didn't go for a star already known, they went for a star who's being born. I'm all for that. I'm looking forward to seeing what Julia Garner is going to do in Fantastic Four. I'm looking forward to seeing what she does with Silver Surfer as a character. I didn't know that Fantastic Four had like 4 writers writing the script right now. That makes you a little bit. Hopefully, it's not too many cooks in the kitchen. But regardless of all that, Fantastic Four is shaping up to look like a pretty great return to form for Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. I'm all for it, and this casting just seems to be another great addition to the ever-growing fantastic cast that they've got going, no pun intended, for the Fantastic Four. Well, thank you very much for checking out this clip from our live show that we do every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time called Zach Milne Talks Live. If you like talking movies, if you like talking movie news, why don't you consider hitting that subscribe button before you leave? We do that on this channel all the time. But if you still need some time before you fully commit, you can check out the full video this clip is from right here, and you can check out another video over here. The subscribe button's right here.